Hello and welcome to Activ8, the show where the audience is naked, but quite thankfully we're not. Today, as always, I'm joined by Tim Smith and Alan Liu to talk about some tech issues that really matter. This week, it's Windows 8, which by the time you watch this will have launched on the world, and the sun will still rise in the east and set in the west. So, Windows 8, how bad is it?
He hates it that much.
At the risk of being a curmudgeonly old fart who dislikes stuff just because it's changed, the lack of a start button is a bit of a bugbear, really. Because instead you've got the start screen, which is not obvious to get to for a lot of people.
But Microsoft said no one was clicking on the start button. That's why they got rid of it.
Who are these people?
No one was clicking on it. They got the user data that said that no one was using the start button, or very few people.
Is that because everyone just clicks no, I don't want to participate in the user experience
There's
surveys?
just one person sitting there. So that's at number one. At number two, we have the Explorer ribbon.
I actually quite like it. I think it works well. The trouble for me with the Explorer one, you can't see it here, is if you don't have the ribbon open all the time, when you then click on a tab to open it, it covers up the address bar and the first row of icons in
Alan, you're looking angry.
No normal person cares about the address bar, Tim.
No,
None at all.
maybe not the address bar, but the list of icons is important.
Let's see if we can reach agreement on the next one then. The sheer awfulness of using it with a keyboard and mouse, especially on the interface formerly known as Metro.
It's clearly designed for use of a touchscreen. If you don't have a touchscreen, then there's an awful lot of weird gestures and excessive dragging and clicking and stuff.
So is it just a steep learning curve?
It's actually pretty decent. It's just that, it's a bit of a pain in the arse to begin with.
So do we like it? One word, yes or no? Somewhere between the two? No. Okay, Tim's gone with no.
Windows 7 or Ubuntu for me.
Alan, yes or no?
Meh.
Meh?
Do you really want a yes or no?
I do.
I think the best I can give you is a meh.
A meh.
That's a short answer.
So that's an Ubuntu no, a meh, and I'm going to go for a no as well. Which isn't great news for Microsoft, but I'm sure that they can improve things with time.
But it is cheap.
It is
the
cheap.
Cheapest version of Windows yet.
Yes.
Is it cheap because it's only worth that much to begin with?
Well, I mean, that's the dangerous impression that Microsoft might be giving us, mightn't it? But
they've made it too cheap.
Yeah.
Make it more expensive.
Yeah.
Sure. Now, before we turned on the cameras today, we were sitting here, and you might have thought we'd be having a nice chat, but you'd be wrong. Alan was on his iPhone, Tim was on his iPad, and I was staring vaguely into middle distance. But do we use our smartphones too much? How many hours a day would you say, gents?
27.
27 hours a day. I think that sums it up quite nicely. We went onto the streets to find out just how much people are using their phones. With more and more people using smartphones, are we spending too much time looking at them? We asked 5 simple questions to see if people are more than a little too attached to their phones. 5. Does your phone remind you to do everything?
Yeah, everything.
Maybe just to call someone, I'd probably forget if I wasn't reminded and there wasn't an alarm.
It gives me alarms for lots of things, and also, of course, wakes me up in the morning.
If there's a birthday.
If I've got a meeting, to let me know things to bring to that and bits and bobs to remember, really.
4. Can you do things on your phone without even looking at it?
Like, what do you mean? Like telepathy?
No. I tried it on the tube this morning and it was so packed I couldn't see the screen and I was doing terribly, so...
Probably, yeah.
No.
3. Do you find yourself looking at your phone to avoid talking to people?
If you're going for drinks with a friend and they pop to the toilet, it's always good to quickly check something.
Very rarely, only if there's someone else in the room who you don't necessarily want to talk to.
It's like my comfort zone. It looks like someone I'm talking to if I'm not seeing anybody else in the room.
Yeah, it's a very convenient way to look engaged but not be engaged.
I try not to, but I think I do it subconsciously.
2. How would you feel if you lost or broke your phone?
Lonely, heartbroken.
I would be heartbroken and lost.
I think phones are boring.
I try not to rely on it too much, but yeah, it is quite crippling.
If your phone's organising you, that's really difficult. Like, everything's gone.
Inconvenient, very inconvenient,
My iPhone, it's my life and my memories.
1. Do you use your phone on the loo?
Come again, please.
Not really, but maybe once in my life.
Yes. Yes, I do. But don't we all?
Yeah, just browse the internet quite often.
Every morning to read the newspaper.
No.
No, I don't, actually.
Yes.
Yes.
To do
Games mostly.
Yeah, of course. I think everyone does this.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe sometimes.
Although not very scientific, our tests certainly found a lot of smartphone junkies. And with 4G looming, we could soon be spending a lot more time staring at our phones. So that's what people in the outside world think, but what do we think here in the cave? Tim, are you addicted to your smartphone?
Yes. I can't deny it. Whether I'm looking at my email,
Do you do it on the loo?
Yes.
Alan, a pine for me.
What does that even supposed to mean?
A pine.
A pine?
Yeah. Opine. Opinion.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like, trees or
Thought you'd
something.
gone mad.
Tim, carry on. You're
Yeah, well, it's become that thing that just fills in any tiny amount of time when I'm not doing something else. So I do it on the train on the way home. I know the journey really well. I know to get up, stand by the door 2 minutes before the train gets into the station, and I still get the smartphone out and check my email. I can't.
Alan, how often do you get yours out?
All the time, baby.
All the time. But is it something that you find means that you're looking at the world less?
Well, the real issue is whether smartphones make people less sociable, and I don't think they do. If you were like a friendly, outgoing, social person before, then you'd still be like that even after you get a smartphone. If, on the other hand, you're an asociable grump, then getting a smartphone just means you have a rather convenient barrier between you and other people. That's it.
Is 4G going to make us more addicted to our smartphones because we'll be able to do more on them, or is it going to mean that we'll do things quicker so we can put them back in our pockets?
No, I think we'll do more with them. We'll start watching video and such.
Ow.
Yeah, it'll be neither. The 4G will suck the battery so fast they'll be useless bricks within 2 hours. Yeah. 2 hours.
2 hours.
2 hours. 2 hour battery life. That's
so everyone's going to be wandering around not knowing where they're going, who they're meant to be seeing.
They'll have really light smartphones but massive backpacks with batteries in them.
It's a bold, bold future.
Yeah.
Like Ghostbusters, in other words.
Yeah, basically.
But less fun.
Yes, not enough.
Less shenanigans.
Yeah, not enough Dan Aykroyd.
So there you have it, a bold vision of the future with Dan Aykroyd and less shenanigans. Gentlemen, thank you very much for your valuable contributions. We'll be back again with another edition of Activ8 very soon.
You just look a bit like Liam Neeson today for some reason.
Thank you.
In fairness, on my train journey, I have been looking at the same scenery now for about 11 years, so I know it fairly well.
You can look the other way.
Yeah, I've done that.